listening to the Startup Scale Up Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to create meaningful businesses and pursue their passions. My name is Demi Samande and I am a furniture manufacturer, best known for documenting my move to Lagos, Nigeria for hopes of business opportunities. And I'm sitting down with entrepreneurs from across the continent to talk about their process, the lessons they have learned, and how to make real impact. Welcome to Susu. Today's guest on Susu podcast is Oluwatobi Ajayi, a creative and astute entrepreneur. He's the founder of Nord Automobile Limited, one of the first Nigerian automobile brands and Africa's premier automobile corporation. He started his career at Mercedes-Benz Nigeria, growing very fast to become the head of division, and later co-founded Jetvan, an authorised dealer of Mercedes-Benz. Tobi is amongst the most influential people in the Nigerian auto industry, winning so many local and international awards and recognition for his contributions to the automobile industry in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. He was listed by Forbes as one of the most promising young entrepreneurs in Africa for 2018. He is an alumni of the prestige Lagos Business School, Pan-Atlantic University, where he bagged his MBA. He has a certificate from the IESE Business School, Spain, after concluding his Pan-African EMBA module. He holds a BA in Agric and Soil Science and Farm Mechanization in Olabisi Onabanjo University in Ogun State. He is a fellow of the Institute of Credit and Administrators. Tobi, welcome to Susu podcast.
I'm very happy to be here.
We are super excited to have you because you're one of ours, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're one of ours.
Yeah.
And we're proud to have you.
I'm also very proud of...
To be had.
Yeah. I'm proud to be seen as one. Because I am, really.
You're one of our great representations of excellence in what Nigeria can offer, what Nigeria has to offer, and what Nigeria currently has, and I believe we're growing on. It's an inspiration to know that we have somebody who has the foresight to really be a true creator within our space and to completely own it as Africa's own. So thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for paving it forward for us and inspiring so much of us. Now, before we delve into our conversation today, we've been talking a little bit off camera about the world of automobiles. And I did say jokingly, I am a woman. So please, when you're describing your automobile language, make it very simple.
I'll do my best.
Please simplify it so that you can carry me along.
I will actually.
And that I understand, and then our audience also listening to us today also really understand. But before we delve into Nord's story and Jetvan before that, tell me a little bit about your childhood. You know, the years that made you Tobi, the years that kind of put together this degree of excellence, the things that shaped you into who you are today.
Okay, so that's really good. I'm the firstborn, the first child, first son, and my dad was in the auto industry even before I was born. He joined the auto industry. He was in a company that used to deal in Nissan, Toyota as far back as 1977.
Oh, wow.
So
that's older than me and you.
I'm telling you. So way before I was born. So after I was born, he started a company called Squadron Motors. And they were in Kaduna. The headquarters was in Kaduna. They were dealers of Peugeot, selling Peugeot cars and the rest. And
on a license?
Yes.
Yes.
Those early 90s then, you know. And that really shaped a bit of my childhood, you know. But I wasn't very happy initially because I didn't want to go into the auto industry because he didn't do very well in that company. The auto industry wasn't so nice to him. My dad is a very simple, easygoing man, and the competition was really difficult, you know. So he just let go and went to do other things. So I had a bit of fear for the auto industry initially. Then, because I was the firstborn again, I got a lot of attention from my parents. You know, they wanted their first child to be well behaved. So I really, got that training. At that time, it was very difficult, but today I'm very happy it happened because it makes me very disciplined.
That tells me you got whooped.
A lot. Like, now we don't want to say it now. We call it child. Then flogging, you do anything, they, flog you, discipline you. And, and my mom she's retired now. She was a teacher.
Oh, that means she was a disciplinary.
Yeah, she was. She's very different now. I tell my younger brother, the last born, like, hey, guy, you're lucky, man.
Yeah, enjoying.
Like, you can't even remember when last, then it was a bit younger, of course. Then people like us, it was every day,
Steady.
And she worked with the Ministry of Defense. She was a teacher at Nigerian Navy Primary School. So I attended Nigerian Navy Primary School because she was a teacher there. It was easier. And I went after primary school, proceeded to Nigerian Navy Secondary School, Abeokuta. And I think that is the beginning of a lot of things. So going to that school changed a lot because it's a military school. I think Nigerian Navy is only military school at that time. It was the hallmark was discipline. You just had to be disciplined. You had to make good decisions. You had to, I don't know how to explain it really. It was tough. Your time it was at that age I knew the value of time.
Yeah.
Because everything was back to back. You wake up at this time, you have to lay your bed in white, you have to do this, you have to do that. We had only maybe 1 hour to even even to wash your own clothes. It's seen as
set times.
Like, yes, because it was between afternoon prep to the food, which was like 5:30 to 6:30. That's when you had to do you don't have your own time. Yeah.
So your time is heavily managed for you.
So that really helped me, and not just me. Most we call ourselves ex-Navy boys. Most ex-Navy boys are very disciplined. I do business with some of them. I trust a lot of them because it's like we're like brothers. We've gone through a lot, and there's certain things that I see now, maybe even on social media, that is alien to me. Like, I didn't see it then, and I think it's because of that military discipline. You know, and also the quest to always get things right. I won't call it, the pursuit of excellence. The drive to almost be a perfectionist also comes. The military. Have you heard the word military precision?
Yes.
When you're doing something, it has to. It's either you're doing it or you're not doing it.
There's no in between.
You
compromise.
Understand? You just have to do it. You have to. So I was one of those people that I really took all the training in. Some people didn't take all the training in. It's normal, but a lot of people did, and I was one of those that really took it in, and it really changed a lot for me. It made me very disciplined. It made me and a little bit not clouded by too much emotions. Like, I'm one of those people that I know. Initially, I thought it was a normal thing, but right now I can see that it's not so normal. I will always make, most times, not all the time because I'm still human, but most times I'll always make the decision I want to make, regardless of how I feel.
So you're always in pursuit of doing the right thing, irrespective of your emotions.
Exactly. Whether I'm happy, whether I'm angry, whether I'm sad, whether I'm afraid, I will do what I feel is right. Regardless. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. There are certain times, I can think back and say, okay, I acted in fear here, or I acted because I was angry here. But rarely will I do something that.
So rarely do you backpedal on your decisions because you feel that you made the right one, irrespective.
Exactly. I have some problems with that. People say, you don't want to apologize on this. I'm like, because before I ever made the decision, I thought about it clearly. Thought about the consequences of those decisions before I made them. Of course, like I said, I still make some mistakes because I'm human, but most times, and I think that helps a lot because it means that most times when I make a decision, I consider the consequences. And when you consider the consequences, it means that you consider your way out of those consequences sometimes. And you consider the implications and the what I call it, the after effect.
The pros and cons of your decision.
Yes. So even when it turns out this way, you are not stranded. You're not caught in the middle. You're not caught in a no man's land. You know what next to do because
You've anticipated
you felt,
it.
that, okay, once I do this, this is my option 2, option 3, option 4.
Yeah.
You understand? So I think it really helped a lot. And my early training, you know, being in military school from, like I said, primary school from when you were 3 or 4 till I left at 16.
It couldn't have helped that your mum was there too.
Well, she was. My mom wasn't in the secondary school.
Oh, okay. So she was in
Lagos. Nigerian Navy Primary School was in Lagos.
Yes.
At Apapa, Mobile Road.
Yeah.
The secondary school was a boarding house, boys only.
Okay.
In Abeokuta. So she wasn't there.
Okay.
No, at all. She wasn't
But
there.
what does it feel like when your mum was in school with you?
In primary, well, I can't really remember.
Primary school is quite young, to be honest. So you probably don't even have any memory. Just mum's around, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So moving on from there and then going into the world of business and work, and then you stumbled into Jetvan, coming from Mercedes-Benz and experiencing that. Kind of tell me about that awakening and how that came about. You know, I know very much the story, and I do want you to share it with us. Just kind of give us, you know, how that transition happened from working to now starting your own automobile business.
Okay. And I like, thank God it's a podcast, so it's easier to share. So, the original idea actually wasn't to start, at that time at least, to start Jetvan. That wasn't the original idea. To start an authorized dealer of Mercedes-Benz at that time. The idea, so when I joined Mercedes-Benz, I joined as a copper. I moved very fast. After some months, I was saddled with the responsibility of the van division at that time, and the van division became a very fairly decent division. We're doing well. Our market share increased to about 7% from less than 1%. So
under your leadership.
In 2013, actually, we won. Mercedes-Benz Nigeria won the best van division in, I think, Africa. I know Africa, but I think the whole of Africa and Middle East in 2013. And that was when I was in charge of the division. So we did very well. Everything went really good. And I think at the end of 2013, at that time, market shares increased. Everything was going well. I felt that we needed to consolidate on our success. Because we didn't have, how do we do that? We didn't have dedicated dealerships. I was the one doing most of the work directly. Other division heads like passenger cars or big buses or trucks had dealers that more or less helps them, even though they were still selling directly too.
Yeah.
Helps them to reach the customers, helps them to provide after sales, helps them to do a lot of things. Because it's not just about selling. Anybody can sell, but you have to, you know, provide customers with a very, very good experience. And that's what, to be honest with you, Mercedes-Benz was
known for, isn't it?
Yeah, really good at that. So, I spoke to the management and said, we don't have dedicated dealership for vans. We're doing this ourselves for Mercedes-Benz Nigeria, which was a bit not difficult because I was young, I was energetic, I could do it, but I felt that sooner or later, Toyota was waking up. Toyota was going to fight back because most of the market share that we got was actually from Toyota's market share.
Yeah.
Mostly transporters. So they were going to fight back and probably take their market share if we don't do something. And the way to do that is get a dealership that can provide the support, both sales and after sales support, and just customer care to these customers we just got. And they saw that's a very good idea and said, okay, go and look for customers. Go and look for people who are good enough. I knew what I need the requirements to get the Mercedes-Benz dealership. So I said, okay, no problem. Go and look for people or entities who are good enough to be dealers of Mercedes-Benz. So I went out initially looking for people. At that time, I was 25 years old. I was like
pretty young to be heading a division, isn't it?
Yeah. In fact, at that time, it was, I was punching above my weight already, being the head of a division, Then it wasn't in my thought at that time to own or to start a company.
Yeah.
Even though it was my dream that maybe in 5
Maybe
years
one
time, one
day,
day when I'm
yes.
30 or something. But not at that time. I was still, I don't know, 25. I was young, really.
Yes.
So I was okay with where I was. I was the head of the division. I was doing well. I was happy. I had a good reputation in the company. In fact, my MD, his name is was calling me Super Tobi. That was my name, Super Tobi. Because
Super Tobi.
Super Tobi. You know, it was good. It was good life. So
Yes.
there was no point going into the big ocean of entrepreneurship. That was not real at that time.
But did you have any desire to as of that time?
Yeah, I wanted to, of course, because I wanted to, and I'll explain that later on. But I felt I was too young at that time. That's how I was feeling. But so I started talking to people to become. I spoke to a lot of people, friends, family, to become, to invest in this new company that will become the dealer of Mercedes-Benz vans. I wasn't interested in being the CEO or whatever. I just wanted the dealership so that I can liaise with them. I'll still maintain my role as the man in charge of this division. Then I'll be liaising with the dealership like most other people do. An easy life. But I spoke to a lot of people. So there was a particular day I was talking to a politician, and because I felt they had the money. We were at a rental hotel, and I was talking. He bought vehicles from us. So I was talking to him about investing, and he said, "So this day, I've been telling you, it was post. You know, oh, I've heard you. On this day, maybe I met him on a bad day." So he just looked at me and said, "Tobi, I'm not interested." This man, at that time, this man is twice my age. Like he was in his, I was 20, he was maybe 50 plus then, or almost 60. He just looked at me and said, "Tobi, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. If you think that this is a good business, like you've mentioned, you've given me all the pros, then do it. Do it yourself." And I looked at him and I said, "Sir, I'm 25. It takes a lot to start a dealership, authorized dealership of Mercedes-Benz. It takes a lot. You need serious money for bank guarantee, millions of euro. You need the expertise. You need the people. You need a lot of things. I'm just 25. Where am I going to?" And he looked at me and said, and this is one thing that changed a lot of things. And he looked at me and said, "Tobi, you are the one who reminds me that you're 25. When I see you, I don't see a 25-year-old boy. I see a very intelligent man. Why do you think I always have you around me? You are very smart. I don't remember. You are very smart. You can do a lot of things even people in their 40s can do. I don't see you as that. And stop reminding me, because you are good enough. You can start a business. You can start that business." People who own the businesses that are doing well today, people who own these companies, they don't have two heads. It's not because of their age. They just decided to go and do it. The same way you can decide to go and do it. So go out there, look for investors, look for people and do it. You can do it if you really want to. If you really think it's a good idea, go and talk to people.
Game changer.
Yeah, serious.
Absolute game changer.
Absolute game changer. And I thought about it. I was like, oh, wait. Maybe is this man saying the truth? Maybe. Well,
your mind didn't go to I need $1 trillion. Where am I going to get $1 trillion? Is guarantee.
So actually, it was about. I don't want to mention the amount now but it was some million, less than 2 million euros actually, but over €1 million.
Less than 2 million euros
as bank guarantee. And at that time, euro was 220.
So what does that equate to?
So let's say 300 or 350 million at that time. Not just bank guarantee.
Yes.
Bank guarantee. Then you need to get the office building. You need to have integrity is very important. Like if they think you have funny stories about you, sorry, so you need to have integrity. They need to see that you have the capacity to attract the talent, the kind of people that will be able to give the dealership the kind of quality that they are known for.
Yes.
So a lot of things. And I just felt like, where will I even start from the money part? Where will I see, So anyway, I started from the money part. So I started going around. Instead of telling people to start, I started talking to people to start this company, bring money, let us start. More or less, started looking for investors.
Yes.
And at the time, I met somebody who, in fact, normally you talk to a lot of people. You can have like 5, 7, 10 meetings before they even say no at the end of the day. The first day I told this person, he called me the next day and said, "Yeah, that he's ready." I thought it was because I was like,
Oh, wow.
I didn't even tell him. We're just having a conversation.
Just a general chit chat about it.
About the dream and that this opportunity is there. But I also told him, I said, but I don't think it's going to be possible. That this dream is there, but I don't think it's going to be possible.
You were saying that.
I was telling
so
that.
You were basically
downplaying myself.
Manifesting the thing you didn't want yourself.
So I said, I don't think, but I feel that I can plan for it in 5 years' time. That in 5 years' time, I think I can start. But the opportunity is there now. If I can get someone that has money, I didn't believe he was going to be interested. And I think on that day or the next day, I can't remember. He said, "Tobi, you know that your 5-year dream. I'm going to make it happen in 1 year."
Oh wow! He just came out like that. Wow.
No, I didn't do much convincing. He said, "So how much do you say you need?" Again, I told him, "Okay, we need X amount of million of euros bank guarantee. We need a building in Victoria Island for this. We need to employ these people. We need to do this." The guy looked at everything and said, "Okay, I'll bring the money."
All of it?
All of it.
Wow.
You get the license. You be CEO. We do this together. That was it. So, and long and short, that was how we started Nord. I'm sorry, Jetvan.
Jetvan, yeah.
So authorized. So this was I was 25. This was middle 2014. We went back and forth to Mercedes-Benz Nigeria on getting the dealership license till I think it was approved in February 2015.
So before that point, had nobody else had the license to trade with Mercedes in Nigeria? So
there's Mercedes-Benz Nigeria. So it's Mercedes-Benz Nigeria that gave Jetvan the license. So there's Mercedes-Benz Nigeria, but they have dealerships. So we wanted dealership. What I was looking for was a dealership for vans. From
specifically for vans.
Yeah. So there are cars, like passenger cars, there are trucks, there are other things. But I was asking for dealership, for the authorized dealership for vans, just vans.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went back and forth trying to prove that we had what it took, and the rest, and it was almost like a battle. Trust me.
How long did it take, the process from the first application?
The first application happened, I think, in August of 2014. We got the different signed documents in February 2015. So about 8 months.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It takes longer than that to get a bank loan here.
Yeah, well, you know how Nigeria is.
You need to know somebody who knows somebody who is a boss.
These are efficient people. So either you meet it or you don't meet it. So it was really tough. The conditions were tough, everything. But luckily we got it. And a month after, not a month, like days after, in early March, I resigned my position as, in Mercedes-Benz Nigeria van division, and I resumed immediately as CEO of
Jetvan,
the authorized dealer.
How did that feel? Be honest. How did it feel?
So initially, the first few days, I felt like one of my friends said, I didn't climb the ladder. I used the helicopter. People say, "Oh, this guy climbed the ladder, climbing the corporate ladder."
That is a perfect description of your story, because that isn't usually
that's not
the standard when people are telling their story of the climb to success and the struggle they had to go through.
I don't think I used the ladder.
Oh yeah, no, you certainly did not, and I think it was a blessing, because many people would have sweated. Spoken to a gazillion people before they even get anywhere.
So initially, but that was the initial feeling. But weeks after, I started hearing rumors that I made a mistake, that I was going to fail, because I wasn't even I think I was already 26. Yeah, I was 26 then. That at 26 I was going to fail, that I knew nothing, that I was too young to be the CEO of
such a business,
an authorized dealer of Mercedes-Benz, that I was too young, that I was going to fail. And trust me, like I said, I'm very rational, very, very rational. Like, I see things.
But how did it feel though? How did it feel from having that high of, yes, you literally took that helicopter, bypassed the ladder, went straight up there, And then once you landed there, and then people that now started
I was
manifesting
worried.
that
I was
they felt
worried.
that you were going to fail.
I was worried because the people who were saying it were not nobodies. They were people, veterans in the business. People who have been in especially a lot of it came from the Mercedes-Benz family. People who have been in the family for 20 years. People who I know do not necessarily hate me.
Yeah.
They actually care about me, but what I now know today is that they, like they always say, people will judge you by their own standards. So if they think they cannot do something,
they
just
feel that you can't do it. Yeah.
That's the truth. I didn't know at that time, and that was why I was a bit afraid. I thought they were right, but today I know that's why a lot of times when people tell me I cannot do something, you can ask my people, my team. When I hear something cannot be done, I just look at people in the factory and say, "Okay, do it like this. Follow this way first." Maybe it's my money. Let's see.
Yeah.
If he gets back, just follow. Most times, and I come. Oh, it work. It will work.
Well,
That's how
first
people
you need to try
create
it.
things. That's how people create things. That's how people change the world. That's if you want to do something nobody has done before, you have to go to places. You have to try things people have not tried before. That's the only way. You cannot continue to do things the way people were doing things and expect that you're only going
to discover something
exactly.
new.
You're not going to. So I was initially very scared, like seriously worried. In fact, I felt I made a mistake. If I could go back, I would have gone back. Like, because not just one person, people that have been like 20 years with experience, people that have been like, there was one man, he's been in Mercedes-Benz like 1992 or 93. He told somebody, he didn't tell me, he told somebody that the company was going to crash in 2-3 years, that I don't know the business. And I was worried because I was like, this is someone that has been in the business since I was maybe 5 years old.
But did it impact your behavior after that point?
It did, because
what did you do? What did you start doing differently? Did you notice?
Yes. So you asked a very good question. So I think that was when everything was going well. I was performing. So there's a bit between being a performer, being efficient, and actually becoming a leader. There are people that are doers. You can do, but you cannot lead. They're two different things.
The technician.
Yeah, you can be a doer.
The strategist.
You're very efficient.
Yes.
But when it comes to leading, to changing things, to building things, you will be found lacking. So I think those negative words more or less turned me into a leader. I realized that I was now literally holding the steering of my life. And I could see where I am today. For example, I could see that I have the opportunity to be, for example, where I am today, like be the owner of this in future. This was 2015, right? I was like, if you do this well, Tobi, in 2020 you can be this. But you need to do it well. Yes, you're 26, but you need to grow up. This
was your self-talk.
Yeah.
This is what you're saying to yourself internally.
To myself, you need to be successful. You need to ensure that you do not fail. Luckily for you, these people that are criticizing you, I've already told you the things that may make you fail.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, the pitfalls. In their talk, their rubbish, in their talks, they've already mentioned the things. One of them was cash flow problems, that I was going to run out of cash. One of them was I was going to overstock. So those are things that I ensured I did not do. They told me a lot of stories of a lot of people that have failed, and they attributed it to age. But when I look at it, I say, oh, this person didn't fail because this person was young. One of the reasons, but the person failed because the person overstocked. So the person couldn't sell. The person ran out of cash. And the person ran out of cash. And the business failed. So then I was very careful. And I tried to have a very good relationship with a lot of people, customers. I tried to, call it, which wasn't a big deal then. Now it's a big deal, even in Nigeria and even in the world, to provide superior customer service, customer experience. It wasn't not so much of a big deal then at that time. But I knew that I had to do it so that customers will always want to be around us.
Yeah.
And even when they want to leave, we can have an hint
Yes.
and be able to mitigate, and see what we can do. Either, ensure that we get other customers to replace them or try not to lose them. That was my motive then, not to lose the customers, which is now, which we still do. I always tell my team, customer experience is like,
it's king.
It's king. You have to ensure that the customers are happy. Customers should feel that they've made the right decision being around you or choosing your product. So as at 2015, then that was what I told myself, that I needed to be successful. I needed to manage my cash properly. I needed to, do the business the right way. I needed to give customers exactly what they want. Integrity, of course. I've always had integrity anyway.
I understand.
So
how long did Jetvan run for?
So about 3 years. So I'll give you the story there. So 2015, when it was good. So of course, and I forgot about the stories later, because after I think the first year we did about 2 billion naira in revenue, over 2 billion. So I said, oh, Becky, forget this. You understand? So the next year we had a small launch for something. And one of the people, so I invited a lot of people. I invited the whole Mercedes-Benz family, invited a lot of people to Jetvan, invited some who is in Nigeria, some senators. A lot of people came for the launch, and so I was still 26 then, almost some months to 27. And I was looking at myself, how I've been able to invite this kind of people. The pictures are there on the internet, caliber of people.
Yes.
To my company in far away Shangote Edo, actually. I was really happy. And after I gave a speech. It was a very good speech. I'm still looking for the speech tomorrow. I don't know. I don't
Nobody
know
recorded it.
I recorded it, but I don't know where. I don't know. So, but I'll find it if I want to find it, actually. So I gave a very good speech. One of my friend Ajebo was the MC. He said something nice about how young people are going to change. Because the speech, it was selling cars, but it was almost like when I was done, a lot of claps.
Yes.
A lot of things, and Ajebo was like, you see why young people are going to change this country.
That was as of what,
2016. Yes.
So you did your event. Fast forward to 3 years.
Yeah.
What was our exit strategy there?
So after the event, the economy of Nigeria plummeted.
So I was going to ask about that, because the automobile industry is very reactive, isn't it? To, like most business, like a lot of businesses, it's reactive.
Yeah.
So, was it a recession that sort of...
Yeah. So in 2015, I can even share the story if you have time. In 2015 December, the dollar started rising. It was 160 something, 163. It started rising. No, it was euro. So we use euro. So euro was about 220, 223. It started rising. I think by January it got to almost 300. And to cut long story short, we were in trouble. A vehicle that we're selling for 9 million naira, which was landing Nigeria about 8 million naira, all of a sudden was costing us about, within a year, I'm telling you, by the next year, by let's say October or November 2016, the same vehicle that I could sell for 9 million naira in 2015, late 2015, was already costing my company about 16, 17 million. It means I have to sell like maybe 18 million. By 2017, it was costing my company about 21 million naira to land a vehicle that we're selling for 9 million naira just a year ago. So at that point in time, most of my customers were transporters. I couldn't sell to the transporters anymore because their source of revenue, which is a movement of people from Lagos to Abuja or Lagos to Benin, did not increase significantly. Maybe they were charging 8,000 naira from Lagos to Abuja. Now they were charging 8,500 or 9,000.
Economies of scale.
Exactly. So there was no point. So, and the buses they were buying for 9 million was now, let's say, 21 million, 22 million. So it didn't make any sense. So we needed to think outside the box. We needed to create a solution. And luckily for me, a lot of my customers are more or less my friends also. Like
Yes.
we have a good personal relationship with them. So I spoke to them and like, Tobi, I cannot buy your vehicles again. The best I can do is repair the ones I have, refurbish them, but I'm not going to buy the brand new vehicles again. So that was where the idea of Nord came. They said, okay, you know what? Why not create our own brand that would provide Nigerians with durable, reliable, top quality vehicle? Maybe not as good as a luxury brand, but good enough to get the job done. Very good, very durable, at a price they don't cry when they are paying. That was the original, because that was the problem. We couldn't sell anymore.
Because you couldn't buy Forex, and you couldn't necessarily afford the cost of bringing it.
So I couldn't tell somebody who was buying a vehicle for 9 million naira just a year ago to buy for 21 million naira now.
And we all know Nigerians are very price sensitive.
Very, very. Nigeria is a very price sensitive market. So I felt, okay, you know what? We needed to provide a solution to this problem. It's a problem. It's a problem of what I call value for money. At that point, the customers were feeling that they were not getting value for the vehicles they were buying.
But they obviously know the condition of the country. They know it's a dollar or euro factor, it's a Forex factor.
Yes.
But that's always the case over here. But nobody still wants to hear it.
Nobody.
Right?
So, but if we and that's why, like I said, that's why Nord came in, because there's a solution to that. The solution is go around the world, look for OEMs.
OEMs, break it down for us.
Okay, OEMs.
Let me just remind you, talking to a woman again.
OEM means original.
Yes.
Equipment manufacturer. OE.
I know when I buy the parts for my car, you hear that, and you always have to ask the supplier: is it an OEM? Is it OEM? OMI?
Well, they're probably scamming.
Well, my uncle says I should always ask.
So OEM just means original. So anybody that originally makes a vehicle. So
yes,
anybody that originally makes a component is an OEM.
Yeah.
So is it OEM does not mean it is authentic. Because one person can be in one warehouse in Thailand or China,
and he's making it, so that's
an OEM, really.
Yes. Okay.
But
it has to be like specific to the brand.
Exactly. So it gets, is this brand?
Yes.
Like, is this or that?
Is this a Ford OEM?
Exactly.
Specification.
Exactly. Yeah. You can ask. So anyway, you go to the top OEMs and you ask and say, so when making vehicles, it's complicated, no doubt, but because I've also been very lucky. Yeah, that's one thing. I've been very lucky. When I was in Mercedes-Benz Nigeria, I had the opportunity of visiting almost all the factories of Mercedes-Benz in Germany. So I can see, like, oh, this is how it's done. This is what you need to do. This is the hard work you need to do. So I understand what the hard work is, and I think that's a very big plus. So I came back, and that's why when I saw the problem in Nigeria, I said, you know what, we can do this in Nigeria. We can do it. It is not easy. It's not going to be simple, but if we're ready, we can do this and provide a solution to Nigerians.
Okay,
and
so
of
you
course, make some profit from it.
Of course. So then you came up with Nord, and I'm still going to get the breakdown of why it's called Nord. I'm sure everybody wants to know, but you started Nord, and then you got this brand kind of kick-started. Now I know, because I'm a driver and I actually quite enjoy driving, that the automobile industry across the globe is very much changing. Tech is taking over everything.
Yes.
Now, having started Nord and started your own manufacturing company of vehicles, was you looking to start a brand towards the direction that the world is going, or you just want to just kickstart it? Because where the automobile industry is moving at the moment, I imagine that Nigeria is very much behind. Very much behind. How many years would you say we're behind, though?
I think we're at where Europe was in 1999.
99. So when you starting this brand,
In terms of
are
a
you
lot of
are you
things,
starting in
emotion level, emotion
1999?
level.
where are you where are you positioning this brand within the
Okay.
Nigerian context? Is what I'm saying.
So for Nord, we're 2020.
You're starting at 2020.
Some of our vehicles can sell in Europe.
They wouldn't be outdated.
They wouldn't be. Yes, they can sell in
Fantastic.
Europe if you remove all the socio-political barriers that would.
Such as what? What would those barriers be?
Socio-political, like it's from Africa.
Importation bans.
No,
and things
no,
like
no,
that.
just that. Will an average European buy a vehicle that was assembled? Because we get a lot of our steel from China, we get some of our parts. Our transmission, for example, is made by a company in France. Our engines most of them are made in Japan. So most of the body is made in China. The steel, because steel is a lot cheaper in China. So then everything comes here and we put it together here in Nigeria. So will an average European buy something from Africa now? It's something. Even the EU, we did allow it. Even though we have the certifications. For example, our passenger car, the A3, has, because there's a body called Euro NCAP. They are the body just like name Euro EU. They really in Europe, and they ensure that vehicles sold in Europe are safe enough for Europeans.
Mm-hmm.
And they are one of the most respected safety bodies in Europe. A lot of continents also use them. America, Australia, and some. But we decided. I don't know if other people in Africa and our industry are using them, but okay. Okay.
Your mic is your best friend.
Okay, so I don't know if other people in the industry are using it also, but we told our OEMs that we would like to have Euro NCAP certified vehicles.
So you were very intentional about your
especially for safety, to ensure that the vehicle is safe enough to be sold in Europe in 2020. Safety.
Mm-hmm.
So our A3 has the 5-star, which is the highest, the Euro NCAP 5-star. It is safe enough to be sold in Europe, but we may not sell in Europe, like I said.
Why
so
not?
For safety,
why wouldn't you sell in Europe? Nigerians all around the world.
Yeah, so
if Nigerians buy into the brand, why couldn't we ship to Europe for them?
So a lot of reasons. Right now, like you said, a lot of reasons. So if we're going to sell in Europe, we will have to, I think, to be able to compete. Let's start from the commercial angle. We'll have to establish an assembly plant in Europe. That's one.
Okay.
Because I'm sure the tariff of exporting from Africa to Europe would I don't know what it is. I've not.
Well, okay. Let's not make any. If we don't know what it is, let's not make any assumptions. But we imagine it would cost a significant.
Yes, because
something.
I believe that the tariff won't be too friendly coming from. That's one. So you need to establish the factory in Europe and assemble them in Europe so that you can say that you don't have to pay the tariff.
Manage costs and stuff.
That's one. Then the second one is you will have to get the acceptance. That's why I said
the brand has to be accepted.
Yeah, social, political, problem. So second is acceptance. How are you going to get?
Is that not just marketing?
Yeah,
very strategic
but I'll rather devote that resources and energy to my continent.
I was gonna say, Europe sounds great on the surface, but Africa is a huge market.
I think the market there is already saturated.
Yeah.
There's am I going to try? Whose market am I going to?
But you know how we all, I'm a fellow manufacturer. You know how it goes. The old adage that whenever the European market accepts something, our market follows.
We're going to get there.
So it could be a strategic way of actually entering.
It's part of our plan.
Yeah.
And from our timeline, I think we should be there in 6 years' time.
In 6 years.
So,
So it's
and
definitely something on your list of things you
So,
want to achieve.
so to answer your original question, are we 1999? No, we are in terms of safety, in terms of certification, we are good enough.
What about tech?
I'm going there. We're good enough in terms of safety to be sold in Europe in 2020 for all our vehicles. But emission, we're not there in emission because we can create vehicles. When you say emission, like the emission, the emission standard of the vehicle,
Yes.
we deliberately reduced it because the fuel quality in Nigeria, it's not only the engine.
There's a lot of other factors involved.
The fuel quality in Nigeria is not good enough for the kind of engine. Like currently, Europe is using Euro 6. Most of our vehicles that we produce in North are either Euro 4 or Euro 5. We deliberately, at a higher cost, trust me, imagine me producing something we're producing something of a lower emission standard at a higher cost, just because we know that if you bring it here and you pump fuel,
it will damage it.
Exactly, because the fuel has a lot of impurities that would damage the engine. So we deliberately did not design an engine that is Euro 6. So we use Euro 5 or Euro 4, depending on the model.
Okay.
So the so safety, we're Europe standard. Emission, we're a bit above African standard, because I think Nigeria is currently on Euro 3. Even I don't know South Africa. I think South Africa is Euro 3 or Euro 4. But North is currently Euro 4, Euro 5. And I'm hoping that soon we move to where the world is Euro 5 or Euro 6.
We'll catch up.
It's going to take some time, because it means a lot of investment. It takes a lot of things. But I just hope that really we get there, so that we are the same emission standard as the rest of the world. Then when it comes to tech, we have a lot of intellectual properties for electric vehicles. We've been doing a lot of R&D since 2016, on R&Ds, and we can deploy immediately. But we're a young company, we're growing. We've decided internally that there's no point now releasing electric vehicles in Nigeria, because we're currently in Nigeria now, even though we're trying to move to other African countries before. Like I said, Europe is about 6 years' time before we go to, so there's no point right now from a commercial point of view, except we want to, what I call it, a concept, African concept, to show Africans that we can do this. But from a commercial point of view, there is really no point now producing electric vehicles, because we do not have the infrastructure. People even have issues charging their own phones.
Well, people have issues just running,
just
getting
even charging
fuel
their laptop. So you're talking about, so it's really going to be difficult now. But
when do you envisage that Nigeria would catch up? Because as of now, I think the electric motor industry is growing about, I think when I last checked, 43%. The estimate is going to grow by 43% every year between now and 2030.
By 2030,
yes,
most of West Europe, US would be almost exclusively on electric vehicles. That's the fact.
Then what would then be our plan for the European takeover?
We'd
have to follow suit.
The good thing is that we as a company, we can, even as it now. In fact, I was talking to somebody one day and I said, you know what? Even though I feel that we can do other things with this, just to show you that we can. In maybe a year, we're going to produce the tank, especially the ones you guys love, the not tank. We're going to produce some not electric vehicles, not tank. I was talking to my assistant, we're going to produce some not, just to show you, even though I feel that from a commercial point, it may not do too well, because...
Well, you can't create your own charging points too? Is that too expensive?
You can, but
there must be companies that can do that, no?
Yes, already but you have to now look. So it's an economic, like I said, economies of scale.
Yes.
A charging, the last time we checked, it could have changed now. To install a charging point, it's about, I don't know, maybe 12,000 or 15,000 USD. Yes. I can't remember again now. That's one. Why would I invest that? Do you know how many I have to invest? So why would you invest that amount in a country that will not buy a lot of the electric vehicles to need those charging points. You get, so we need to be a country where we can get that volume.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I just feel like Nigeria is so behind on so many levels that we have to leapfrog.
No,
we can't keep
we're gonna get
doing
there.
that. I think there has to be a lot of stages that we just have to leapfrog.
Leap
out of it. We're going to bypass it completely
Don't
because
follow
it
the ladder.
doesn't make any sense. Don't follow
Yeah.
the ladder, take the helicopter.
Exactly.
So it's almost like we have so many infrastructural issues. We have issues
but I
with
think
fuel,
we're
all
gonna
of
get
that.
there. I think but it's just not now.
My question basically, I think my comment basically in essence is why keep building vehicles for very low quality fuel when we can just stop creating vehicles for fuel completely and just go electrical.
I wish I can show you one of my emails now. We could have shipped some engines right now, but the factory that makes our engines for us in Japan is saying that because they don't produce a lot of Euro 5 engines anymore, we have to wait 25 more days.
That's where the cost factor comes in, isn't it?
Yeah, we have to wait 25 more days. But if you want the Euro 6 engine now, they can ship to us now. So now I'm thinking in my head that 25 more days, that means I may not have to ship with the container then. I may have to do air freight because I have promised customers a certain time to deliver their vehicles. So if I have to wait 25 more days, so I'm caught in the middle now, but I made a decision anyway. But some days when I got the news, I was wondering, should I order the Euro 6 engines for these vehicles? And when I know that the fuel quality of Nigeria is not good enough for this, or do I just wait the 25 days this factory in Japan just told me to wait and ship by air? So I've made a decision now to wait the 25 days, which is really sad. Really sad. It means that some customers are going to, either I spend more money doing air freight,
yes,
because I can't do the
which
container.
Obviously that's your profit gone.
Yes, or I have to delay the customers. In maybe 20, that's about 5 days ago. In 20 days' time, I'll make a decision on what to do. But you can see the problems we face because we're in a continent or in a country that is not
that is not really set up for
that is not in line with what everybody in the global economy is doing. So your question again?
Yeah, why don't we just leapfrog? Yeah. Because it's almost like we're playing catch up constantly, but at the same time we're scared to leapfrog because things are not ready yet. So that's why I thought it would be a much more progressive.
But I think that we, like you said, we may have to leapfrog because
otherwise we're just creating
some years ago. When I say years, maybe almost 15 years ago, it was. I was having a discussion with some people. I was still young, having a discussion with some people and about ATMs in Nigeria. I watched a movie. And okay, I'll tell you this. I watched a movie. It's a Korean movie or so, Asian movie. Can't remember. I was really young then. This was maybe 2002. I can't remember. I was in Nigerian Navy Secondary School. At that time, there's this company now that merged with UBA then, was owned by Tony Numelu. Standard, I think Standard something bank.
Okay.
Was owned by, it was a company that merged with UBA to become to this UBA. You see that UBA logo that has the S. That was the Standard logo before. Okay. Yeah. So that bank was in my school. We had this account, student accounts in the school, and so that they don't. I think they did it so that people don't keep cash in the hostel, which increased theft in hostel, breaking of locker and all these things. It was dangerous. So the school advised students to keep money in the bank, and they come only one every Saturday or so. And the queue was mad. Like queue, it was something else. You queue at a point. I stopped keeping my money there because I didn't see the point. Why would I? And I told him my secondary school was about time. Like, why would I waste 3 or 4 hours of my very precious time? I'm telling you.
Oh, wow.
On queue to get your money from the bank. You go and sign. The worst part is this, the seniors were already waiting for you. So once you go there, you get your money. They can see you on the queue. So you are collecting money. So
awful.
So what people even now do at that time, I remember, was that some people now turn into business. So they will stay on the queue for you. So 2 things. So you don't have to, so you can go and do other things. 1. 2, you don't have any senior to monitor and say, oh, you were on the queue. So that guy, let's say he collects 1,000 naira, he comes back and gives you
industrious Nigerians.
I'm telling you, I'm talking about people in that 13, 14 year. I'm telling you. So they come back and give you like maybe 100 naira. So maybe it takes 1,000 from you. 1,000 is a lot of money. Then bread was 10
you trusted them with your ATM card.
It's not ATM.
It's inside a bag. Oh, wow.
So they stay in a classroom opposite our parade ground.
Yes.
So you queue. You have, I think they have a register of how much you have with them.
Not even a card.
Not card. There's no card. I was trying to explain the concept of ATM. There's no checkbook. So you go there, you tell them how much you want. You write it somewhere.
An affidavit or something.
They deduct it. There's not even computer. There was no computer.
Wow.
It's a book. It's a book. So they will now deduct it. They will now cancel. So it's like, I don't know how to explain. They write it. So how much you enter? Maybe 10,000. So this weekend you got 1,000. So they're going to write it like manual. That. Manual. So what you do is you go and so when it's your turn, the guy quickly calls you when he comes and he takes the money for you and you give him maybe 100, depending on your negotiation. You give him a cut actually from it. So and I wasn't happy because I wasn't earning a lot of pocket money. So why would I be giving? So it wasn't a good deal for me. So I was one of those people who took the risk of still keeping our money in with us. I still kept my money in my locker or put it somewhere or give it to my guardian. So I went home during the holidays and I watched a movie. Like I said, it's Asian, either Korean or Chinese. I can't remember now. I watched a movie and the guy brought out something from his, went to a machine, pressed something and money came out. This was like 2002. So I looked at it, I was like, why didn't they bring this into our school? Because, I think that's when I knew that I had to be an entrepreneur. Because whenever I see problem, I'm always looking for the solution. So I was like, why didn't they bring this thing? Because these are people queuing up. And I remember then, I spoke to some of my uncles, who were young men then. They were in their 20s. Now they are in their old men. But then they were young people. Secondary school, they were in like university or just finished university. So I spoke to them. I was like, this machine, why didn't they bring that? They should bring this machine to my school that it would really work. Because number one, it means that what the school wants to achieve is security so that you can keep your money. You can keep your money in a place that you don't have to put it in your locker. So people don't have to, commit crime just because of the money you kept. And number 2 is that's for the school. Then for us, we don't have to queue. We can go at midnight at a convenience when most especially seniors are not watching you, and you don't have to queue because at the time. Then you don't have to pay anybody that helps you to queue.
So there's a solution to the problem.
A lot of solutions. So I said, why don't you do this? Why? At that time, I'm very sure if I had seen Tony Emilio and I told him, he probably would have told me. So I spoke to I didn't know the name was ATM then. I just saw the machine that somebody did something and money came out from their account. So I spoke to my uncles and maybe they knew what the name was or whatever. I can't remember. But they started telling me how that kind of thing will work in Nigeria. That even they did outside. That number one, we have power problem. That those machines need power.
Working, yes.
And those machines and people were going to that even in Nigeria they're still stealing money from people when they come out of the bank. Let alone.
This is why we need to leapfrog.
So but today you can see the ATMs
it's working. It's
so I feel that we will when we really want to.
When we're ready.
But
leapfrogging is not about being ready though. Leapfrogging is doing it. And then everybody just adjusts. I think if honestly, if everybody...
Yeah, you said doing it. So who's going to do it? So there has to be some readiness.
You can do it. Adjust, change your cars to electric cars. Even if it's just 10 out of the lot. And then figure out how you're going to have the charging points. Even if you're starting somewhere like
the
VI.
Market, it's not just the entrepreneur, not just the innovator.
The VI market. One market alone, just to try it out. Everybody, I would buy it. Because most people that live on the island, they don't veer out of the island.
But you also understand that electric vehicles are about 50% more expensive.
Tobi, it's the ATM.
Okay.
I'm just going to put it out there, people.
I'll bring it up. I don't know.
Do a couple because you never know.
We're going to launch. We're going to produce.
You just never know.
We're going to produce the electric version of the tank in about
Even if you just have one charging
in
point.
about a year.
Even if you just have one charging point.
We will even do more than one time. We'll do about 10, even though I think that's not going to be enough.
It won't be
We'll do
enough, but
about
then
10.
I guess that will give you the ability to grow the
No, but
demand,
we're going to do it
right?
actually just to show.
I think we can do it now.
You know, we'll do it just to show and just to
just to experiment to see what the demand,
market, yes,
how the market would in fact respond.
Yes.
And I think it doesn't take very long for old vehicles. I think the first resistance is going to be paying that high cost for a brand new vehicle, because it has to be a brand new vehicle.
Yes.
But at the same time, I don't see that it will take very long for those first set of vehicles to now become old vehicles. And it trickles down to the market, to the man who probably couldn't afford the big one.
Yeah, right.
And then many people, you know how Nigeria goes. Everybody starts copying you, and then all of a sudden you see these charging points everywhere.
But I think
the petrol stations turn into supermarkets because nobody else wants to buy fuel anymore.
Yes. And most importantly, we'll be in line with what the world is doing. So we'll be in line. So I feel that we're going to. I think that by 2030, Nigeria, just like most of the world, would be largely electric vehicles.
Tobi, so. when you make this money, remember I told you, Remember Demi said leapfrog and do it now.
Yes, I remember.
Do you understand? But yeah, let's go back real quick to Nord, right? Okay. You got to tell me, why Nord?
The name, right?
Where did that name come from?
So I formed the name in 2016. So I went to Thailand to meet an OEM of Honda. The name of the company, I can tell their name now because I didn't do business with them, so that's not confidential. So the name of the company is called Testec. You can Google them. That's not about the auto industry. They're not. You see a lot of names, they're not popular. You see
but they are the big ones. Yes.
Yeah. So they produce a lot of things for Honda. The name of the company is called Testec. So I went to them. They're in Thailand. They're in Japan too, but I went to their office in Thailand, which is also very big. They do a lot of things there. And I had a meeting with the executive, very good meeting, just that they asked me for a lot of volume Nigeria could not do. That's why I tell people, please buy Nord, buy Nigerian vehicles. We are doing our best. We're giving you quality. But the more you buy from us, the easier.
The cheaper it's going to be, more affordable.
The easier, the cheaper it's going to be. And we will all gain. The country would gain. I'll pay more tax. I'll employ more people. Mm-hmm. It's a volume business. It is a volume business. If you know the things Nord is currently doing to be in this market, the headaches, the collaborations, just to be able to meet the volume, the risk taking. Yeah, you know, it's really huge.
I don't take it for granted at all. I can imagine the level of resistance that you guys would have faced and probably still facing. Yeah. I can also imagine the setbacks because again, it's a numbers game. It's that sort of industry. Infrastructure doesn't necessarily support you. Government policy does not support you guys.
Well, but government.
Well,
the
I know
policy
that
currently supports
the one that you've got at the moment. But I think you can benefit from more.
Yeah, I agree. More. No, I think it's more the policy. So the thing is from a policy point, the policies is good as it is good.
You don't need any anymore. What's the problem? Execution?
No, to be realistic, exactly the execution. Well, and that's not the government. That's civil servants.
That's what everybody. I guess when everybody says the policies don't help us. I'm in manufacturing as well. I don't think we necessarily mean that the intention is not there. I think there are certain. It's execution. You know, as a manufacturer is bringing in raw materials. I know that I'm supposed to pay a certain percentage for to clear my stuff at customs, but the reality is I'm paying more than that. So
double taxation and the rest.
You know, the execution of this policy.
That's the problem we have now, and well, like I said, I'm going to scatter a lot of things. Yeah,
I hope you do. I hope we all do.
I am doing this because I want to change this country.
But tell me, why Nord?
So why not? So I was in Testec in Thailand, and we had a good meeting, very good meeting with their top executive. And after the meeting, one of the I don't know his name now. One of the executives asked me, "So what's the name of your this?" Because I told him about the dream and what the plan. So what's the name of your company, the auto company you're trying to, you're trying to build? Then I just realized
you didn't have a name.
I didn't have a name. I knew the problem I was trying to solve. Clearly, I knew how I was going to solve the problem. I knew what the solution had to be, but I had no problem. But Toby, that's the perfect. And like I didn't care about the branding or whatever. I just knew this is the problem. This is the solution. The aesthetics and the branding was not really in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, "Whoa, that's true." And it was a bit awkward, not embarrassing, but So I said, "Okay." So that went. So when I go to my hotel room, I said, "You know what? Today, I'll find a name." Of course, it's been it's been there before. Like, Toby, you have to find a name, but I didn't take it seriously until that moment. So I felt, Toby, you have to find a name now. So in my hotel room in Thailand, I play Scrabble. Then I used to play Scrabble a lot, Seth, but now it's not because I don't have so much time again. So I like Scrabble, so I did it like so I wanted a name that would be easy to remember, easy to pronounce, easy to spell, that would sound solid, and that would bring a smile to people's face when they pronounce it. I just wanted a very good name. And to get that good name, so I'll call that what I just mentioned to you now my objectives. So those were my objectives. So after the objectives, I have to say what I'll call the criteria. So to get the good name, the easy to pronounce name, the this, the that, the name people would like to pronounce, and I said, okay, criteria. It has to be a word that is a four letter word. It has to be a 4-letter word. Plus or minus 1. So, but I felt 4 letters should be good because 4 letters will be easy to pronounce. But if it's a 5, maybe for some reasons it has to be 5 letters, fine. If it has to be 3 letters, I doubt it because it'll be too short. But if one way or the other, if it's 3 letters, fine. But I really wanted a 4-letter word. That was it. The next criteria was I wanted it to sound solid. I wanted it to sound
to represent the
like
car.
when you mention exactly, it shouldn't sound like a flower or something. It should sound, very solid.
Sound
Beam. Yeah,
beam.
exactly.
Is it beam or B?
Beam.
All right.
So that was the second. Then the final one, I wanted N somewhere in the name to represent country of origin, Nigeria.
Okay.
It didn't have to be in the beginning. I just wanted, like if you play Scrabble well, you just want to forming words. So
positioning.
You just positioning. It doesn't have to be in the beginning. It could be anywhere. So but I said, okay. But so when I was forming it, I said, okay, you N, stay here. You may not be there at the end of the day, but just stay at the beginning. I might take you to the 3rd letter or the last letter. So, but just stay here, N. Then of course, if you play Scrabble very well, you know that after a consonant like N, the next thing has to be a vowel. Just 5. Easy to A, E, I, O, U. Very easy. So I didn't want A.
Okay, the military school is coming out. The military is coming out. Like, there's a reason behind everything. But yes, please continue.
So I said, okay, I don't like nah. I just felt now not just be too cheesy. So I said, okay, nah, E. Long story short, I settled for O and O. Then if you play Scrabble, this is Scrabble knowledge 2. They're what we call connecting consonants. Vowels are very good when you're trying to spell a word because they are like gum. They can gum words, that's
hold
why
things together.
Yeah, they gum things together, make it easy to pronounce. They make, they give it life, basically, vowels. But consonants makes it a bit difficult, especially consonants like H, that it's almost like
it almost has to be silent.
Exactly. So, but there are some consonants that I call personally connecting consonants because they are consonants, but they sound in a way, or they like a vowel. So they connect. After them, you can put another consonant, and an alphabet like that, a consonant like that is R. So, and that was why I went for R, because I use it a lot in Scrabble because it's very connecting. When you're trying to form a word, just put R. You mostly be able to connect. So that was NOR. Then I felt, okay, you know what? So that it's not Nara or something. So I said, okay, let's put a consonant. Because a consonant will make it sound
Dim.
dim. So I looked for it. Eventually I settled for K. Knock. So, and I thought it was a good name. Knock. It sounded okay now. I said, okay, good. Now I called my friend. His name is Ajay somehow. I was in Thailand, so he was in Nigeria then.
Your mic.
Okay, my mic. Yeah. So he was in Nigeria then. This was around, let's say, 11 p.m. in Thailand. I think Thailand is 6 or 7 hours ahead of Nigeria. So it was afternoon here in Nigeria. And I called him and said, how far, man? I had a meeting with these people. It was good. This. And I just realized I didn't form my name, form the company name. I just formed it now. And I think I'm so happy. It's good. Yeah. It meets all my criteria. It meets all my objective. I said, okay, what's the name? I said, Knock. I was so excited. I was excited. And when I said Knock, I could feel the what I call it, the silence in Nigeria at the end of the other call. I could feel the what's this one saying? It was like, I was like, what's it? He was like, Tobi Ajayi, throw away that name. Knock. Wait till be Knock. What's Knock? See, if you don't change that name, what these musicians go just use you sing. They just say, why your engine no go knock when you don't buy Knock? Because I was initially trying to argue with him.
Oh my goodness!
When he said that thing.
Yeah.
I said, no, I have to change it. So
then he correlate with
he now spoke to me. He's like, but how did you form it? I told him how I formed it, like Scrabble, this. He said, that's easy now. Just change the K or change the verb, but just change the K. Moonly. I think you should move the K. Look for something else. So, like I said, I had meetings the next morning. So I was really tired. I was, imagine how you. I know. I spent time doing this. I just explained to you.
You even achieved it in one night. It took me months to get a name.
So I felt, so I said, okay. So I had to sleep because I had meeting the next morning. So I slept off. The next morning, because I was disturbed by it, I woke up, worried by it. And before I went for my meeting, I said, okay, this guy said I should change. Yeah, let's change K now. I didn't want to start. I just started from the half of this one. No need. Even if it's a vowel that I'll fit, no problem. I just started with A. And I'll tell you what I did. So, N-O-R-A. Nora. I said no.
Or Nore?
No. Nora.
Or no?
I said no. I thought about no. So I said no. That's no. That means don't buy. So I said no. So I said no, Nora. I said no, Nora. No. That doesn't sound beam. So I removed the A. I took it to B. Knob. I said, it's your finger knob, or what is that? So I said, no. This B is okay. I went to C. I couldn't even pronounce it. Is it nos or knock?
It's still knock, I think.
I just removed the C. Then I went to D, the fourth alphabet, N-O-R-D, and it sounded like, sounded even better than the K. Because I actually thought I wasn't going to get it better.
Yes.
I thought I wasn't going to get a better word after that K, that knock. I thought I was going to get it better. So when I put the D, nod.
It just worked for you.
Like it just worked, boom. Wow. I called him later, of course, when Nigeria woke up, much later. And we both agreed that it was a good name, Nod. And I said, yeah, that's it stands and everything. Of course, maybe a few days later, I checked the internet what Nod means. First of all, you have to understand that I formed it because I wanted it to have the objectives and the criteria. Easy to pronounce, easy to remember. And one of the reasons, because I wanted it, I could have used my name. People told me to use my name, Tobi, even before I thought about the name, Tobi or Ajayi or something. No, I didn't want a name that people would maybe say sounds too sectional or something. I wanted it to be Pan-African. I wanted it to be a name that would outlive me. Do you get my point? Like a name that will sound good, very good name that will outlive me. Not, when you are reading the history, you can remember that a man called Oluwatobi Ajayi founded the company, but the company name should sound very universal, that anybody anywhere on the continent of Africa can pronounce it.
Using your rationale in terms of how you got the name, it actually makes a lot of sense because you followed very, very important steps.
Yes.
And I think when people are asking the question, why Nord? It should be a Nigerian name. I think the justification is definitely there. Yeah. But when as you were describing it, I honestly was just thinking, Tobi. I just thought Tobi had BIM. Tobi had culture. Tobi had a history. But Tobi is also very, very
universal.
Yeah,
Tobi
is not just a Nigerian name.
Yeah, actually.
So I just felt that Tobi would have been a case of the Nigerians know, and the foreigners accept.
Well,
you should change it to Tobi. Me, I'll drive Tobi. Tobi actually reminds me of a car. You remember that the car movie where the car had a life of its own? What was it called? The racing car that had a life of its own that could drive itself, which I think is the future of cars. That's probably where it came from. I don't remember the name of the car. Maybe if I remember another time, I'll send it to you. But this car literally picked its human and it was racing itself. And I think it did some weird transformational things. It could fix itself. It could do all sorts of weird things. And that car had a name, and I believe it was Tobi.
Well, maybe.
But I'm. This is just me guessing, Tobi, because I might be wrong. Don't hold me to it. But it had a name.
We can try. Maybe
sounded well. I think it might have sounded Nigerian, but I'm not sure.
Maybe we can name our electric vehicles Tobi.
That would be do you know what? I'm going to take credit for that. I'm going to take full credit.
Maybe
for that marketing.
I'll
marketing advice right there.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that car will travel the world. That's my prayer for you. Okay. You have an electric car called Tobi. The Nigerians will be proud because it's our own. The international market will be impressed because it sounds hella cute, doesn't it? Yeah. It sounds cute.
Yeah, Tobi,
it's a boy. It's still masculine, but it's cute. It's economical.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'll take that.
I'm going to need a check.
I'll take that.
I'm going to need a check for this consultation.
I'll take that. Okay, Nord Group, Tobi for electric vehicles.
What?
Yeah.
Madam, my check, please.
Yeah.
No, that'd be fantastic.
Sounds good.
But I definitely think you're doing great things. You're doing beautiful things. You're doing incredibly inspiring things, and it would be nice to write your name in history as well.
Yeah, that's the
and in a novelty kind of. It's kind of novelty, isn't it? Yeah. Naming a car after you, but it's fun, and I think that would be a really, really great direction for you guys.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of my motivation actually to be remembered.
You're doing a fantastic job so far. But what do you actually want to be remembered for? Do you want to be remembered for Nord? Do you want to be remembered as somebody who paved it forward? What's the drive for Tobi?
So I want to be remembered as somebody who was, when he was leaving, impactful, who changed a lot of things, who stood for the improvement of the living conditions of Africans. I've always wanted that, and that if you check my interviews as far back as 4 or 5 years ago, I've always said the same thing. What drives me? It sounds very funny, but that's the truth. The big truth. It's not the money. Maybe because like some people said, you never had to suffer or whatever. Even though I think I've gone through a lot of struggles, but I've never been in a position where I had to worship money. So maybe that's a big factor for me. I don't know.
It's not a concern that you have to worry about.
Yeah. So I've had issues. I've had financial issues. Don't get me wrong. My parents were not very rich or something, but it has not gone to the point where I'm going to do anything for money. That's
fantastic. Tobi, it's been an absolute pleasure sharing minds with you. It's been, we had a bit of a tug of war here today, and I thoroughly enjoyed it because I learned from you. I learned from you immensely. Yeah. Guys, honestly, thank you so much for tuning in on this episode of Susu Podcast. I hope you've also learned a lot from Tobi's immense wisdom and his experience. And I hope that you guys can take on that knowledge and just amplify it to basically create your own stories. You guys are amazing. You have huge amount of potential. You really are the beacons of tomorrow, and I believe that as Nigerians we really are talented and gifted enough to change our own tomorrow. So take care, guys, and have a wonderful week. Bye, guys.